What is a constructability review? I'm going to discuss in this video how to make that not suck. The approach, the steps, and what a constructability review can do for you. So let's do this. A constructability review, first and foremost, is a process during design that ensures the design can be successfully built. And we talk about this all the time in construction, but it's very rarely done well. It's a good idea. Like I said, we talk about it all the time, but I don't know that we really believe that it can add value or that designers believe that it can add value. But here is a story that will help you to understand kind of how my perspective has grown. First, I remember going to a company and taking over a project, and I believe that the design was somewhere in the early design development phase. And I remember the project executive handing me the set of drawings and saying, hey, I've already done a constructability review. You go ahead and review it as well and send it to the designers. And this will be like your first onboarding to the project. And I was like, great, I love what I'm about to learn here. And I was literally turning the pages and there was like a circle and it was like, finish this detail. And like another circle that was like, what's going on here? And I'm flipping through and I'm like, what? What is this? If I'm the designer, I'd be like offended. Like, if I'm the designer, like, did you not think I didn't know I needed to develop that detail or that I needed to add that annotation over there? Obviously. So like, I'm thinking like, how is this value add? Is this common? Like, I don't understand. So I had a really bad taste in my mouth. And then with the project team, like I was motivated to try and make it something more than it originally was because this was a really nice design partner. We wanted to add value, right? Fast forward through what ended up being a really good project success on that one and the one after, we got to a point where we were doing collision detection in the design models, providing feedback for pathways in the design models for the design team. We were looking at actual details, constructability, means and methods, providing feedback in our weekly design meeting, and doing a darn good job of making sure that it was vetted out. And that project did not start until we had a finished set of plans, and we had very few RFIs. I think it was like 40 for a massive project. It was something insane. And it was so nice because everybody always says, hey, the design gets worse. The designers are chucking this over the wall. It doesn't work. You know, constructability reviews don't matter. Early design assists, why am I paying for that, right? There's all this negativity around it. And I realized, oh my gosh, it worked. And the trade partners, especially for the MEP, were able to use and download the design models and have the pathways pretty close for their mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Like for electrical, the larger entities, but it was pretty good. Like these are pretty good models. We didn't have to just remodel everything when we went to spooling out all of our shop drawings and prefabricating any of those MEP scopes or any of that prefab. So it was really a nice experience. And I remember some of the things that we started to do that worked really well for us, and that's what I'm going to share with you now. So I just want you to know, the concept, we're always going to get crappy plans, that's just a thought. There's no way to get a good design model for your MEP trades. That's just a thought. There's no way to do good clash detection before the design is finished. That's just a thought. These are all thoughts that are not serving us. They may have been real, but that doesn't mean that's how we have to go forward. So first and foremost, what I like to do with the designers is not only do a pre-flight check, which is a term that I got from DPR, where you establish your conditions of satisfaction, you get aligned with the design team, we find out what kind of partnering and constructability reviews and budgeting and scheduling that we want, right? And when we check in, that's where I always like to start. But what I love to do is establish milestones throughout and make sure that we are doing collaborative pull plans up into those milestones, and that we're literally, and it's kind of a mix between Last Planner and Scrum. If you ask Felipe Engineer, he'll tell you everything's Scrum, but each week having sprints and working from our sprint backlog to our in progress to our complete, sprints of tasks that help complete the design that also include the general contractor scheduling, budgeting, and constructability reviews on the board, scheduled, and as a part of that iterative design process. It's not too locked into the timeline, but it's more flexible, okay? So getting on the same page there was ideal. Then we as the general contractor know when we need to tie into it. So we know when we need our design assist trade partners. We know when we need some help with the constructability review. We know when deliverables need to be done. And so that was our first approach. Then when we got to those milestones, we would follow this step, which I'll list to you right now. Number one, establish objectives and scope, right? The design team really needs what kind of information by way of feedback? Are they really worried right now about schedule? And our opinion is included in matters as well, but are they really worried about schedule? Are they looking at concept? Are we looking at what kind of crane we need? Are they looking at, permanent power and the availability of equipment, right? What are they looking at? Every little bit of input, we need to make sure we understand the conditions of satisfaction, understand the objectives, and understand what scope we are reviewing. Number two, form a review team. Most of the time, the designers just chuck this over the wall and say, hey, contractor, go ahead and review. And it doesn't amount to much by the time the contractor has a review back. The design has progressed so much anyway, it doesn't matter, right? Instead of doing that, let's go ahead and form a review team. And that review team can include stakeholders and users, parts of the design team, and the general contractor, and the trade partners. Form that team, set some deadlines, get help, and swarm it, and review it in enough time so your comments don't get to the designers when it's too late and it was just a waste of time. Step number three, review the documentation. Obviously, you're going to have probably PDFs or models, different design concepts. If you have a review team, I highly recommend you put it in something like a Bluebeam session where it can be real time and you can literally provide feedback that can be tracked instead of doing it a start to finish and then a relationship finish to start, finish to start, finish to start, where everything is dependent and batched. You'll do better if you do concurrent reviews with that team. As a part of that constructability review, reviewing the documentation, you'll be looking for the following things. Number one, evaluate the design concepts and make sure they're according to the vision of the project. Number two, assess feasibility. Look at the land, the lot, the access, the conditions, the workforce, the material availability, and make sure that anything designed is feasible within the project parameters. Three, identify constructability issues. Can we build it? Do we have a large enough crane? Does this work? Does this support the schedule? Can we even access it with our equipment? Four, review building systems and make sure that they all talk together. So one of the key things you're going to do is get your MEP trades connected and make sure that your power supply to the equipment matches, right? And that we know all the points of connection for the different systems and that all MEP systems are working together and sized properly and they all have the right requirements to feed each other. Five, consider material availability and procurement. Obviously, if it's design, we have to make sure that it's available, so stay with that during these reviews. Six, review building codes and regulations. Obviously, that's on the designer, but you can 100% do some checks, involve some third parties, and make sure you're keeping an eye out for it, especially according to your knowledge and experience working with inspectors. Seven, and this is a big one, identify cost implications. You might have to pull out an A3, which is a single document, and when the design team wants to do a particular thing, you might have to go through and identify different options, cost implications, and enable the team to see that A3, those options, and make a better decision. And number eight, review sustainability considerations as a part of your review. And let's get back to, well, actually, one thing real quick. If you have found this video helpful, I would love to get you to like that video and get that algorithm going so that we can share it with others. I have never been around a construction team that can remember off the top of their head how to do things like this. So the time that we're taking to put it in a video could be super helpful for literally like hundreds of thousands of people. Please give us that like, it'll help us to share. So on to topic number 4 as a part of the main outline of what to do. Coordinate with stakeholders. So if you have the review and you know what needs to be done or you have identified a problem, there has to be a quick way to communicate with stakeholders so that we can get those problems fixed in a timely manner as decisions are being made. Number 5, and this is key, document constructability review findings and make sure that that is transmitted in an understandable format to the entire design team and to the owner. Number 6, develop mitigation strategies. So now that that's communicated, we need to loop in the team and the owner and make some decisions so that whatever problems that you have found or difficulties, they can be mitigated and you can start creating flow in your planning early on in design. Number 7, update the project documentation. Number 8, monitor progress and make sure that that is all being looped in and that you're seeing the details and the fruits of your labor. And number 9, always make sure that you are continuously improving this effort and making it easier on the designers and more value add for the owners. If you follow these steps and if you take this approach and if you gain a different mindset, you'll be set up with a set of drawings that have as few RFIs as possible, that are fairly well coordinated, that will enable your design assist trades and any trades that have to use the models. You'll have less time with distraction and you'll be able to go do your job and get home on time. See, what people don't understand is every RFI is at least 7 hours of work. Every change order barely pays for itself with the 23 different hours it has to be spent just getting it approved and documenting it. We don't want those things. How can we get a fully vetted design right out of the gate? You do it by following this process. In the description below, I'm going to link you to a blog post that lists out these steps in case you want to use it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.